Editor John Simpson tracks the journey of Nelson Mandela's body from Pretoria to Kunu.
In the incomparable landscape in which Nelson Mandela spent his childhood, they brought back his body on its last journey to the family home. In the morning, the party he'd belonged to for 69 years, the ANC, said its goodbyes to him at Waterkloof Airport near Pretoria. For his widow, Graça, this was the most emotional public moment so far. Friends say she's taken her husband's death very hard. President Jacob Zuma broke into song, as he likes to do. He's got a good voice, but he's had a tough time politically. Since the death of Nelson Mandela, he's been criticised, heckled and booed. The guests were a varied group. They included Gerry Adams of Ireland Sinn Féin, a man who also talked peace with his former enemies. But one important figure was missing, Mandela's friend and ally, the former Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He said he hadn't been invited and didn't want a gate crash. The ANC said he had been invited, and tonight he said he'd be going after all. Finally, it was time to start the journey home to the Eastern Cape. He was leaving behind the big cities of Pretoria and Johannesburg, where he'd achieved many of his greatest successes. There were big crowds along the road from Mthatha Airport to Kunu. Might have thought they'd be silent and sad, but they weren't. This is such a sad day, and yet everybody's happy. Why is that?
It is so painful that he is dead, but now at least we have the chance to celebrate.
So you're celebrating his life and you're showing your gratitude.
Yes.
And then down the road came the procession accompanying the hearse with Nelson Mandela's body. Once he tended farm animals in the fields round here, just as children still do. Now the one-time shepherd boy had the full panoply of the state to bring him back home. John Simpson, BBC News, Kunu in the Eastern Cape.
Well, as you can see there in John's report, there were thousands of people watching on as Mr Mandela's funeral cortege made its way to Kunu. Our South Africa correspondent Nelson Mandela was with some of the people who were lining the roads.
Nelson Mandela's homecoming. They called it his send-off party.
Now that this day has come, do you think it's reality now? Do you think now you can believe that he's gone?
Yes. We've got this feeling inside and sorry.
Today we have a freedom just because of him. Oh, he means everything to me. He's my father, everything.
It was a welcome fit for a hero.
This is the moment people have been waiting for. They've been standing here for hours just to bid farewell to Nelson Mandela.
Most were happy, but some grumbled the procession went by too fast.
We were here very early in the morning, thinking that Mandela will just pass by and stop a little bit, but he never stopped. We were just seeing just a glimpse of him.
It was a day that parents will tell their children about. One little girl summed it all up.
I am proud of you, Mr. Nelson Mandela, for bringing us to freedom in our country and for bringing peace in our land. I thank you.
Nelson Mandela, BBC News, Mthatha.
National mourning in South Africa are slowly coming to an end. This again, the live shot at the airport, which is very close to the village of Kunu. A mix then of a very public international ceremony, which will be broadcast only by South Africa's SABC, the South African Broadcasting Corporation, because the family would like to try in some way to keep the funeral private. The internment of Nelson Mandela's body itself, that will not be attended by the majority of the 4,500 or so dignitaries who will be in a specially built marquee in Kunu. Organisers say just about 450 people will actually attend the internment. They will include of course, Nelson Mandela's wife, Graça Machel, also his former wife, Winnie Madikizela Mandela. So we believe that Thabo Mbeki has just arrived, the former South African president, the man who succeeded Nelson Mandela as the head of the South African government. And of course, Jacob Zuma will be there. Mr. Zuma, will also be speaking at the funeral. We'll keep you right up to date here on the BBC. In fact, we'll have complete coverage of the funeral itself here on BBC News. That will begin with a special programme, the programme on air at 5:30 GMT. So do join us for that.